Dear everyone, today I'm speaking on how to listen effectively because many of us do not listen properly to what others are speaking, and this has become a major cause for all kinds of misunderstandings in our relationships. Listening is an art, as like all other arts are. Listening demands intelligence, and not that intelligence that you have acquired from learning. That is just information that you have dumped inside your mind. That's not intelligence. Intelligence means to think without the mind. The mind is so overcrowded with its own preconceptions and internal verbal chattings that it does not welcome any new idea until it matches its very own. The mind is not intelligent. It's only intellectually informative. There's a lot of difference between being intellectual and to be intelligent. And even while listening something, intelligence should strike in and not your intellectual mind. If you're listening to anything of your interest, then just listen without the interference of your mind. Now don't mistake listening for just hearing. To hear something, it's enough if you have ears. But to listen to something, you must keep your heart opened and your logical brain locked for at least a while. See, for the words to reach the recipient, some medium is needed. Words are sounds or vibrations, and they cannot be transmitted without a medium. For sound to reach to you, your ears act as a medium, and then you can hear it. But for truth to reach to you, you don't need any medium. Whatever you're listening is, be it music, be it hymns or verses, or noble ideas, or just a conversation with your peers, or even some exchange of words with your spouse. Anything, if listened properly, it does carry some hidden truth in it. Whatever the transmission of information is, it carries the light of truth in it. Truth is light. Even if be it a casual speaking of well-being with your friend on a phone, it also carries truth in it. But only you must be capable of listening to it properly. Truth means light. Like this may happen at times. Your friend might be speaking to you on a phone in a smiling voice, even joyfully. But if you are keen enough to listen, you can also feel some unknown pinch behind a smiling voice. And it flashes on you so instantly because it is light. Truth is light. Light needs no medium to travel. Amongst the trillion mysteries of the universe, light is the most phenomenal mystery as it can travel even in vacuum, in space, without any medium at all. It does not depend on any medium to reach to you, only that you should be open enough to receive it. When our former Prime Minister, Sir M. Radhakrishna, visited Ramana Maharshi, Radhakrishna was seated all alone in the auspicious presence of the Maharshi for more than 2 hours without both uttering a single word. And when Radhakrishna came outside, the media personnel questioned him eagerly to what the Maharshi had conveyed him. For which Radhakrishna said, "We spoke nothing, nor did I raise a question, nor did he answer anything. But the message he transmitted through his silence has been received by me." Now both remained silent. Still, what had to be conveyed had been reached to the recipient. If you are a true listener, you can receive any informal message of the Master even through his silence. And not alone of illumined masters. If you can listen effectively, then you can even listen to what rocks speak. Every immaterial thing too has its own voice. And if you are a true listener, you can listen to it. Buddha spoke after his enlightenment that rocks too are fast asleep Buddhas. But presently, your way of listening is to listen to what you want to listen and not to what is being actually said. You listen in accordance to your mind's considerations only and not according to what actually is being conveyed. Your elders may advise you to behave politely or righteously, but your mind hears it in whichever way it thinks as politeness is for it, in whichever way it thinks is right for it. If you don't listen to them properly, then what is right for your elders will not be right for you. By listening to others' noble ideas or to others' advices, you are not compelled to follow them. Rather, your own effective way of listening will itself decide whether to follow it or to reject it, whether what is said is right or wrong. So do not listen to them with your prior prejudices. Simply listen to them by setting aside your knowledgeable mind, at least for a while. Only then you can understand the true worth of their words. But if you listen through your mind, then their words seem like hammers knocking on you. Even while you listen to a Buddha or to any illumined master, just don't make conclusions that whatever they are saying is true. How can you conclude that whatever they say is true until you yourself have not explored it? Something is not true because it is said by a Buddha. It is true because whatever they say has been experienced by you. But if you conclude that it is true even before experiencing the worth of it, then the possibility of you finding the truth will stop. Your seeking of truth will stop. So don't believe anything blindly. Truth cannot come from outside. It has to be explored within you. So just listen to the words or to the messages of masters without the interference of your mind. Then try to understand it and then contemplate on it and experience it and find the truth yourself. Only then come to your own conclusion. This is responsible listening. That is, to first listen by setting aside your chattering mind, and then to understand it, and then to find the truth yourself. See how children listen? They listen to you through their immaculate nature. They only go to or get emotionally attached to only those whom they find they love them. Even as infants, they keep listening to you, and when they are able to speak, they throw out all that they have listened from you. But here, just innocent listening is also not enough. Even skill of the mind is a dire necessity. In children, because their logical brain is not mature enough to decide the do's and don'ts of what is being said, they lack understanding of it. And hence, even if their listening is pure, still it is incomplete. Effective listening should be like you have to listen through your heart's innocence and also through your brain's intelligence. Listening should be an equal blend of both the heart and the mind's participation in it. Even if anyone dominates the other, whether the heart more or the mind more, you miss the true meaning behind the words. True listening happens only when your listening passes via your heart and then reaches the brain. The heart first understands it, and later the brain processes and judges its worth. The heart alone can't judge if what is listened to is good or bad, nor is the brain solely capable enough of concluding with any outcome of right or wrong. Only an effective listening gives you the clarity as to what is good and what is bad, or whether those words should be accepted or rejected. Such a listening has a quality to it, even if you reject the message. Every moral code should be an outcome of your understanding and intelligence and not because it is followed by others. Our ancient religious texts are a treasure trove of all moral codes in it. But some messed up individuals, because they have not listened to it properly, they have chosen to live an anti-social life. Such garbage-filled minds have tilted the messages according to their own vested interests and have thrown as though it's been narrated by God. No, God did not create any good or bad, nor did he formulate any religion. In God's eyes, even a Hitler or a Buddha is simply equal to him. The Kauravas lived just an opposite way of life to what the Pandavas lived, because they didn't listen properly to what Krishna was expounding of truth to them. They just listened to what their mind wanted to listen and not to what was actually being said by Krishna. So if someone speaks of morality or of God, do not believe him blindly. How can something be true until you have found it yourself? How can you believe that God exists until you have explored him yourself? Hence, listen carefully so that your clarity of thought is capable of separating the right from the wrong. Nobody is highly intelligent or anybody less in any way. Nobody is too good or anybody too bad. Every child is born pure-hearted. Every child is a Rama or a Krishna or a Jesus or a Sita or a Meera. Only as the child grows and because of improper listening to their experienced elderly lot, some children grow up to become Ravanas or Kamsas or Judas or Kaikes or Mantaras. Only because of false listening, you are not able to decide what is truly right and what is actually wrong. So try to listen effectively. And thank you for listening.